Hi, my name is Jay. Your name is?
Nick.
Nick. And
Jessica.
good to meet you both. We're up here today on Mount Helix in La Mesa, California. We're overlooking La Mesa back here, parts of El Cajon. We're out asking the big question of people. What do you think happens after you die? Your eyes go closed, and what happens next? Something or nothing? And if you believe something happens, what is that something?
I have two theories.
Okay.
One of them is I believe after you die, it's just a long dream, just dream forever.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is you're born right after that into a new life. You have no prior knowledge of your previous life, just somewhere else in the world maybe.
How about you?
To be honest, I'm not exactly sure. There's always I don't know, theory of science versus theology and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm not exactly positive or anything like that.
Yeah.
Undecided, I guess.
Yeah. So, we talked to. There's been a number of people we talked about in that same boat. It's kind of they hear about things and they just kind of go, oh, I just can't commit to that whole. So they kind of stay out there and just kind of, kind of nowhere exactly how they will leave. Kind of play it safe per se, right? We've heard that a lot. Before we go any further in the conversation, my wife and I we're Christians. Okay, we've come to the conclusion in our lives that Jesus Christ is real, and He's actively participating in our lives. Okay, I may not see Him physically in front of me, standing there right now, but I know His Spirit resides in this world and resides in me. And that's a decision I made many years ago in that belief. But there's been occurrences that have happened in my life that just underlined it even the more. I talked to a lot of people, and we asked the question, how do you think all this came about? I mean, it's pretty complicated stuff in this world around us, right? I mean, there's usually a creator or a builder to everything you've got. Let's think about the stuff that you have in everyday life. Your clothing, somebody designed it, somebody made it, it happened, right? A building, somebody designed it, somebody built it, and it happened. You may not have seen them do it, but you know that it happened. So it goes on and on and on in how the order of things, right? So we believe that these bodies that we have, they're extremely complicated. When you think about the nerves, the blood, your eyes, everything in that eye has to work together simultaneously just to be able to see. And to say there wasn't a designer or creator behind all that, to me and to my wife, is a little bit far-fetched. I mean, it just kind of made itself. I don't know. I can't wrap my mind around that. There's just too much order in things. Things happen in a certain sequence all throughout the body. But those are some things, kind of a non-biblical view and kind of things you kind of think about. So, have you guys grown up in any kind of religious family yourself?
No, not really.
No? Neither one of you had any church in your background?
Yeah, I went to Catholic school.
Did you Catholic school? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, how about your parents? Would they practice anything?
No, not really. Just
Okay. The gospel means? Okay. We believe, like I said, Jesus is the one that created all this. And He had in mind a perfect creation when He first started. That's back in the Adam and Eve days, and I'm sure you've heard the biblical stories. And then there was a mistake made, the wrong choice. And that's when sin entered the world. Okay? Ever since then, there's been sin in the world. Everybody is born into sin. We all have things that we do wrong, right? I've done plenty of stuff wrong, and I continue to do plenty of stuff wrong. Even though I believe in Jesus Christ, I continue to do them, okay? And I will to the day I die. I mean, as hard as I try, I'll still screw up. Okay? A lot of people think you got to be a good person in order to go to heaven. That's where I believe I want to go to heaven. Do you guys kind of? I'm not sure what you believe in Jesus, but you kind of think that's what most people think. You got to be a good person in order to go there. Let's do what's called the good person test real quick, and then I'll just kind of shows you that we're not good. You guys ever told a lie in your life? So have we. Plenty of them. Okay. I think everybody out there has, and if they say they haven't, they're lying there, right? Have you ever stolen something, taken something without permission from somebody, whether you were a kid or just got caught doing something? You ever done that? I know I have. Okay. So, what does the world call people that steal?
Thieves.
Thieves, there you go. Okay. Have you ever hated someone or called them a fool?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in the Bible, Jesus says in the Sermon on the Mount, that's murder in your heart. Okay? Because you're essentially hating his creation. Okay? If we're all sinners, we've all done stuff wrong, why are you hating on someone? He may not like what they did to you. Right? But you got to figure out how to get past it. If Jesus can forgive us for all our wrong stuff, why can't we let go of something someone's done wrong to us? Right? It's hard. It's a hard one, but we got to figure out how to do that. So, if my way is correct, me and my wife's way is correct, and there is a heaven, and let's say you guys die today for whatever reason, hopefully you won't. Let's say you do today, car accident, whatever it may be, and you're before Jesus, and he's judging you for the things that you've done in this life. Do you think he's going to send you to heaven or to send you to hell?
Heaven.
And why is that?
I'm a good person overall.
So you think that just by kind of being just as long as you're hitting most points, he'll let you into heaven? Yeah. Well, we're not going to hit most of the points. You know, we're going to try to do the right thing, but we're going to screw up. So all Jesus wants you to do is trust and believe in him. And then you got he knows whether you trust and believe in him or not. He knows you to your core. We all put on these different faces for people, right? You put it on for your parents, you put it on for your teachers, whatever it may be. But your Creator knows the inside. So you got to check yourself. Do I truly trust and believe in Jesus, or am I just giving it lip service? If you do that, and you ask for forgiveness of your sins, and it's super easy to do it. You can drop down your knees tonight, alone in your room. It doesn't need to be in front of a church to do it. Say, Jesus, I know you created all this, and I'm sorry for the stuff I've done. You've seen all my secret stuff. I thought I was getting away with it for so long, but I know you've seen it, and I'm sorry for doing it. Please forgive me. I want to be with you forever in heaven. I don't want to go to hell. Because the Bible also speaks about hell. I had a father that accepted Christ on his deathbed. Okay? And at his funeral, I read off all the verses in the Bible that speaks of hell. And there's a lot of them. Okay? And hell is described in the Bible as a place where you're going to burn for eternity, feel pain for eternity. I mean, that's I can't even imagine that. To imagine, have you ever put a match to your skin and felt that for any length of time? Imagine feeling that kind of pain for eternity. And all we got to do is ask Jesus to forgive us. And so it's like one of those things we got to get trapped in. But the world is talking us into ignoring that. Jesus, okay? Everything you see, TV, internet, all of your friends, whatever. Hey, don't do that. You'll miss out on a bunch of fun, man. As a Christian, you can still have fun, okay? It doesn't mean you're locked out of having fun. There's an appropriate fun to have, and there's an inappropriate fun to have. If you go around stealing, robbing jewelry stores every night, well, some might think that's fun, but, it's not the appropriate kind of fun, right? But, There's hiking, there's motorcycling, there's, you name it. There's plenty of fun things to do out there, and not fall into the categories that would not please our Creator, right? So if you haven't asked Jesus into your life, I strongly encourage you to do that, because you don't know when your last moment's going to be. And I'm going to tell you a story of just how that hit us, okay? I don't know what you guys' ages are, but we had a 18-year-old son that we lost in a car accident. We lost him suddenly. We didn't get to say goodbye. Just boom, happened. He thought it was going to be like any normal day, just like today. He was driving he just graduated from Steel Canyon High School, and he was in his freshman year, just starting his freshman year at Mesa College. And this had to happen right after the 2007 wildfires. Remember all those, were you here when the wildfires hit? He jumped into a car he'd been driving for 1 week. He took a car he just had to have. He had to have an Acura Integra. He was used to driving a 4-cylinder Jeep, a much slower car, and he got into a much faster car. Well, he was running late for his cross-country running class. He was a cross-country runner, and had been running since the age of 8. He'd run races all over California, real good runner. When he got in his accident, he was in his running shorts, his t-shirt, and some brand new running shoes he just got the night before from a shoe company that was sponsoring him to run the shoes, test them out. So he was all excited about running for the first time, jumped in the car. It was due to be at a class just after 12, and he hit it going up the 94 West Freeway. Do you know the house that has the white cross painted on the roof on the 94 West over by the In-N-Out Burger? Middle of the day, dry road day, he lost control in the fast lane of his car, going 90 plus miles an hour. Lost control. I'm going to show you a picture. And you can hold that. Yeah. So this is his skid marks here. See where the cross is? He came cross traffic. He was a great kid. He was a fun-loving kid. Had tons of friends. He was a great guy. Hit a tree here, split his car in half, ripped him out of his seatbelt. He landed in the backyard of the house on his back, directly positioned facing the cross. Parts of his car went completely around the cross and the roof. We actually have video coverage of the owner of the house picking up parts of his car around the cross and the roof. So that was a trial. We lost our only son. Okay? But the real question is, will we get to see him again in heaven? Do we believe he accepted Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior before he died and get his sins forgiven? Because that's the key. You got to do it before you die. You can't do it after you die. We think he did, but, like we talked about different facades you might give to your parents, I pray that it was genuine and he really meant it to himself. So that was a trial. We're all going to lose loved ones, right? Sooner or later. This is a little unusual case, but, you're going to lose people to cancer. You're going to lose people to different things that happen in your life. Another thing that happened after this accident, you can put the picture of the newspaper article. An 18-year-old driver killed and slammed into a tree, and that was the day after the newspaper came a day after. My son was an organ donor. He donated his body to an organization called LifeShare. A 18-year-old boy got my son's ligament in his arm. He was a baseball pitcher. And he got his UCL in his arm. It's ultracollateral ligament. He threw it out. He had Tommy John surgery. So he got the ligament, and he sent a letter to us thanking us. I'll show you the letter. Thanking us is right here. Would you mind reading that letter out loud real quick for us, the viewers? Okay.
Dear donor family, hi, my name is Blake. I'm writing to your family to express my sincere empathy in your loss of a family member. I'm deeply sorry for your family, and I am praying that God may guide you in this time. I'm also writing to your family in great respect and gratitude for your family decision to donate this special gift. The transplant I received and the scarring that has taken place due to the surgery will serve as a reminder of your family and especially your loved one. I'm greatly privileged and thankful for my opportunity, which will be powered by your loved one as he or she has enabled me to be healthy again. Do you want to take?
I thought I'd share with you a brief history of who I am and what the surgery has allowed me to do. I am an 18-year-old boy who just graduated from Mater Dei High School in Santa Ana, California. I will be attending Santa Clara University in the fall. I am the oldest child and have one brother and two sisters. My brother is 17, my sister is 16, and my little sister is 12. Growing up a child full of energy and love for athletics, I played hockey, basketball, football, soccer, and baseball.
When I got to high school, a lot of those things started to change or not go the way I had hoped for. To make a long story short, I ended up lettering in football and baseball. I had many ups and downs in football, such as losing the quarterback job to phenom Matt Barkley after being the starting quarterback my freshman and sophomore year for the freshman team and the sophomore JV team. However, I ended up playing receiver for our varsity team my senior year and gained many life lessons along the way. In baseball, my sophomore year on varsity, I hurt my arm pitching. My junior year, I did the exact same thing. After that season, I got an MRI and found out my ulnar collateral ligament, also known as the Tommy John ligament, was torn. I ended up playing third base for the team my senior year, however, and we had a remarkable season that again brought many ups and downs, but many life lessons as well. I'm honored to let you know that the transplant your family has so generously donated has replaced my damaged elbow ligament in my arm through surgery commonly referred to as Tommy John surgery. I'm currently still in stitches and in a brace and have started my rehabilitation process that will take approximately 1 year. I have hopes to play baseball and pitch at Santa Clara University. I will redshirt my first year due to my injury and rehabilitation, but will then resume my baseball activity my second year there. I am again very grateful for your family and hope to fulfill my dreams of pitching out of respect for your loved one. I will never forget your family and your loved one as he or she is in a better place. I hope to keep in contact with your family and cannot be thankful enough for what this surgery is going to enable me to do. Thank you again, and may God bless your family. You are in my prayers and in my heart. Thank you.
So he left his phone number there at the bottom and such. I crossed that out just to keep that his privacy secret there, not to everybody, viewers and stuff. But so we got that letter, and we were really, it really hit us, and we saw the phone number at the end of the letter, and we called him. Wife got her cell phone, called him, and didn't get him on the phone. Got his voicemail. Left him a voicemail, and we didn't hear back from him for a few months. No nothing came back. Well, me and my wife were foster youth mentors. We take kids from the county out, and we'll take them shopping, camping, that kind of thing. My son was actively involved in that when he was alive. He taught kids how to ride quads, bikes, that kind of thing. But one day we were taking our now 18-year-old foster youth out on a bike ride out in Coronado. We were driving from Hamul, and we were driving on the 94 West to get there, all three of us together in the car. We're driving on the freeway all together, and right in front of this house. My wife's cell phone rings. Who do you think is calling us for the very first time and talking to us? Blake. Blake's calling us, and we were all just shocked because we hadn't heard from him and nothing. It's like, wow. So what does this mean? Okay. So then we all decided to have dinner together because we want to find out what was there. And we all traveled up to Carlsbad and had dinner together at the Claim Jumper restaurant up there. We all sat down to eat. His mom came with him. And Blake started asking us questions. He goes, my son's name was Devin. He goes, what kind of car was Devin driving when he died? And we told him it was a Acura Integra and the model and everything. And he looks at us funny and he says, I drive the same car. Then we talked to his mom a little bit more. We find out she is a CASA, which are like foster youth mentors. They take kids from the county out, shop with them. So all this stuff is hooking up, okay? And his father is a child abuse judge. So all this stuff was just hooking up right and left. And we feel God was working in it all. He's always working in our life. I believe right now, God knew I was going to be here today talking to you guys. Now you can believe that, or you can believe that. If you not believe that, it's going to be really up to you. But we believe that he's actively involved in everything we do because we've turned our life over to him. Now, I didn't get this little voice in my head that said, I'm going to meet this person at this place. No, I came up here. I saw you guys down here. You're probably one of the only ones up here. When I came up here, I said, I guess we got to go talk to them. So, he wants you in heaven. He does. And like we talked about before, it's not that difficult to do that. You're going to make mistakes, even as a Christian. God doesn't expect perfection from you. Okay? Just keep that in mind when you make your decision. I pray you do. One other thing that I didn't tell you about, my son, best friend was still in high school when he died. It was one of those things where he thought, maybe this is one of the reasons why my son passed. My son's best friend hadn't accepted Christ yet. My son's best friend accepted Christ at his funeral. Okay, he was still a senior at Stew Canyon High School. He was on the cross country team. Right after my son's death, they ran the San Diego Cross Country Championships at Morley Field in Balboa Park. Everybody on the Stew Canyon team that year wore headbands around their head that said R.I.P. and my son's name when he passed. The entire team won the race that day, and my son's best friend won the race. He ended up getting a scholarship to Chico State University, and we see him to this day. That was in 2007. It's now 2012. We still have contact with him. He's got a great life going on. But being a Christian doesn't mean you're not going to have problems either. Okay, being a Christian, trials are going to happen to you, like this one. You'll have different things happen. You'll lose a job. Your kids will get sick. All that stuff is still going to happen to you. And during a trial, you do one of two things. You'll either draw closer to God or blame God. Why did this happen to me, God? How could you do that? But you've got to learn to not think of this world when things like that happen to you, because God is a planner of all this. If you try to take a God perspective on this whole thing, does any of our decisions, the plans that we have every day in this material world, whether we buy a car, buy a house, whatever, does that all really matter that much? God has his plan for you in his life, and he wants to team with you. He wants you to choose him. Do I think that he could force you to believe him? Sure, I could. If he did all this, he certainly could force us to believe. But I don't think he's got his plan as that. I think it's like a father and a son relationship, or a daughter and a mother relationship. When your father or your mother forces their love upon you, it says, you will love me no matter what. It doesn't mean much, does it? Now, when that father or mother says, I love you for who you are, and I'm so happy to have you in my life, and it's a different kind of love. You want to go to them. And that's what God wants from you guys. He wants you to accept him for who he is, what he's doing for you. And eternity is a long, long time. What we're living in this life is nothing compared to what eternity is. And I encourage you to make a decision earlier in life. The earlier you make that decision, the more he can do with you in your life. Open up doors for you that you wouldn't believe. I mean, you're young still. You have so much more to go, and to have him along the way and help you through those times, it's a good friend, father to have, right? And but anyway, that's all I had to share with you guys. Any questions for me? Anything hit your mind? I know there's a lot of people will tell you a lot of things, but you got to plug yourself into a church too. And why do you go to church? You go to church to help you grow. Okay, you go to church to find other believers that can tell you about Jesus. Okay, and they can kind of go, you know what? In a church, a church has sinners in it. Okay, you're gonna run into some people that you don't care for necessarily. They treat you. They don't always do the right thing. But you try to. It's a June bug. And you try to just find somebody that will. Yeah, I see. You're good. You're quick. So I encourage you to find a church. We actually attend a church that meets on Saturday night, and the congregation is mostly made up of people your age that are there. It meets at the First Baptist Church down in El Cajon, right down Main Street in El Cajon, right there. Small congregation, but it's a congregation that reads out of the Word of God, and they're teaching about Jesus. And they like each other. They love each other. They talk to each other. They're just growing together, and you see that. Whatever church you go to, when you go check it out, look to see if that pastor's reading out of the Bible, number one. He's not up there telling you about how rich you're going to get if you believe this or believe that. And if he starts doing that, you need to run out of the church because it's not the right place to be. Like I said, being a believer, things are still going to happen wrong to you. The difference is you're going to have Jesus in your corner, okay? But anyway, a couple of things I want to kind of share with you. That's my son, Devin. That's what he looked like when he passed. This is something to help you. It's one of those kind of real different things that makes you think. Have you guys ever heard of laminin before? If you look it up on the internet, laminin, this is the glue that holds your body together, your cells together. Amazing that they're all shaped like a cross. You have millions of them, all of your body holding all your cells together. There's a passage in the Bible, and I'll read it real quick, in Colossians 1:15 through 17. And it ties to this cross. The Son is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible. Whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. Amazing, he used a cross to hold everything together in a body. Yeah, so. And this is the last thing I wanted to show you. This is a picture that was taken by the Hubble telescope. If you actually go to the NASA website, you'll find this. It resides in the Whirlpool galaxy. It's a cross. Yeah, it could be other things, but it's one of those things you go, oh, wow. It's not one of those things that makes you think, a little bit. So it's, but the main thing I pray that you guys will do this, and then you'll grow. It's not going to happen overnight where you learn the Bible and you learn every verse in the Bible and it takes time, and God's a patient God. He really is. He really wants to work with you, but you got to take the first step and say, that's it. I'm tired of all this stuff in my life that I know I shouldn't be doing, and all the stuff that is wrong out there. I want to be under the right pretenses of my Lord and my Savior, because I want to be with him for eternity. But don't do it. Don't put it off. If my son was not a believer, he thought it was going to be like any normal day. He'd be leaving the parking lot today and something happened. You don't know, right? So it's an important decision. Well, thank you guys, and God bless you both.